interesting Protoss playing style. I have to say, Best would not be embarrassed to play this well against a Terran opponent. I have to say, I'd have to say, Flash's off race so far has proven to be much better than Best's. Best now sending a bunch of vultures. He's going to try to set up a flank behind Flash, but Flash's Reaver micro, I have to say, his shuttle Reaver micro has been just impeccable this game. He managed to keep that shuttle off, pick off, I believe, 2 or 3 tanks inside the base, and keep Best preoccupied. There's Yellow. Yellow is also going to be leaving Air Force. Not Air Force Ace. He's going to be leaving KTF, and he's not. We're not sure if he's going to be on Air Force Ace afterwards. Actually, so a little bit sad actually. Flash going for a little bit of retreat though, because Best is pushing out with his tank force, although I wonder if he needs more anti-air to deal with that shuttle, because that shuttle is soon going to be putting down Reavers in the back and possibly some Zealot bombs, and those mines actually could be in a position where he could blow up almost all the tanks if a Zealot bomb goes off in the right spot. Looks like a turret's being built in the middle though. That's very smart by Best. Certainly it's going to... Oh, and looks like Flash actually losing that Reaver, I think. Either it was a Reaver or a Zealot. I only saw a little bit of a Flash there, so not sure what it was. So yeah, Best actually choosing a good strategy here, going for a slow push. I'd still say Flash is the lead though, because Best, while he has a considerable force there, I think Best will probably, Flash will probably have Templar up, I was going to say, but so far we only seen a Citadel and no Templar yet, and he needs to get those Templar or else Best will be able to just push in slowly. And, oh! Flash losing 2 Dragoons there, taking a lot of damage on the other ones from that mine. So nice work by Best laying those mines in preparation. Meanwhile, though, a big attack coming in the middle. So yeah, Flash is going to try to break this contain before it gets solidified, and looks like he will break through, I think. Looks like there's just 2 tanks in the back there, and actually he's just going to pick off the tanks in the front. That is pretty smart, actually. A lot of times Protoss do that. Just rush in, expend their Zealots, but not their Dragoons, and pick off the front tanks and not necessarily break the whole contain. Meanwhile, rushing forward, though, with a bunch of vultures, and it looks like Flash is actually going to push back again. But there's too many vultures for him to advance anymore, I think. Those vultures are going to be able to shield for the tanks in the back, and that will stop this advance temporarily. Or rather, this pushback temporarily. And looks like, yeah, just tons of tanks in the middle there. Wow, I have to say. Alright, time for Cholera's next puzzler, by the way. This is puzzler number 4. I thank you guys for the answers to puzzler number 3. I won't go there anymore about irradiation. But puzzler number 4 is this. How come a battlecruiser's weapon is so weak? That's right. Why is one battlecruiser, which is a spaceship, a battlecruiser in history was a light battleship. It was supposed to have a battleship's armament, but slightly smaller armor, but still it's supposed to be a capital ship back in the World War I Dreadnought days. Meanwhile, an attack coming in the middle, though. Sorry. Shuttle going down, but Flash managing to pick off a couple of tanks. A beautiful, beautiful mine there. Well, not a beautiful mine, actually. An ugly mine, but a beautiful hit for Flash, I guess. Managing to pick off a lot of tanks there. And now it looks like only 3 tanks left, and looks like Flash will actually break through against this Terran contain. A little bit sparsely done, though, I have to say. I think Best could have positioned his tanks in the back a little bit more forward and gotten away with it. And maybe had more success. I don't know. Best trying to reinforce with tanks one by one, but looks like Flash will break through, and Best needs to create a second line of defense pretty soon. Flash is going to lose 1 Dragoon, though. Looks like he's not going to lose another Dragoon. Best trying to just delay with his vultures, actually. He might be able to pick off a number of Dragoons there. So Flash has once again swung the game back in his favor. Best was unable to hold that contain, and wasn't really as close as he needed it to be, and he really needed to be choking Flash in more, so he couldn't get that spread that he had while pushing out. Anyway, so my point is, how come the battlecruiser only does 25 damage? It's supposed to be a capital ship. I'd assume it has hundreds and hundreds of, civilians and soldiers inside and commanders. My brother, who's 11, actually has a pretty good reasoning for it. His suggestion is that it's actually mainly a command ship, the battlecruiser. It's I guess a misnomer to call it really a battlecruiser. It's mainly for commanders, admirals in the fleet to command the stuff on the ground, and so the 25 damage lasers are just actually sort of a personal weapon, weapon of last resort. Also, his other theory is that, along with that, is that the Yamato cannon is actually its main weapon. but you know, it's just the 25 damage is just basically self-defense almost, or close-up little laser gun. But anyway, do explain why the battlecruiser is so weak. How come it's only slightly weaker, slightly stronger than you know, a Dragoon in terms of its attacks, and less than a Dark Templar's attack, certainly. Yeah, that's puzzler number 4. Flash now expanding around, and he is going to be going for Arbiters, it seems. Stargate going up, and he still doesn't have a 3rd gas, actually, so maybe he just forgot, or he's actually been focusing a lot on Zealot production, so I actually think it was probably on purpose. Flash has taken out the expansion at the upper left, by the way. Sorry I'm not paying too much attention to this game. I should do a little bit better, actually. I did miss, where I did not commentate the fact that the expansion was taken out. Meanwhile, though, Best coming south here with a dropship. He might know about Best's expansion. Most likely he actually does, and he's going to try to drop it and take it out. Probably at least 1 tank in there and some vultures, I'm going to guess, actually. He's also bringing a lot of vultures over there. I'm not sure why exactly he's going to bring vultures. Oh, he's going to actually, I know why. He's going to actually elevator them down into the pit and use the vultures to pick off the probes, I believe. Yeah, that is what he's going to do. So he's sending 4 vultures down, and I don't think Flash has any idea this is coming. Actually, now he's going to know. But Best, yeah, Flash has probably got 1, we guess, at most 1 shuttle, so he's gonna have to bring, you know, 2 Dragoons at once. But anyway, Best with a very, very nice double drop here. He's gonna drop more vultures into Flash's main, and they're gonna pick off a lot of these probes here. So Flash is really gonna get his probes massacred. Meanwhile, though, Flash dropping 4 speed lots, and actually they're gonna pick off the vultures before they kill off all the probes. I think Best, if he was a little quicker, could have picked off all the probes there. Meanwhile, though, looks like he's managed to pick off probably all the probes in the main, or at least force them to be transferred. And now, so that little drop actually was a very good harass, actually, from Best. Good use of dropships, which we see way too rarely in Terran versus Protoss. Really, the only times we consistently see them is Terran versus Terran, and that's a little disappointing to me. Best actually getting caught up, though, in the corner. It looks like he actually will be able to hold, though. Zealot not going to take out that tank with just a tiny bit of health left, and I think Flash can actually push in, no, rather, Best can push in and finish Flash off, but oh, those tanks are actually vulnerable from the outside. I did not expect that to happen. Wow. Nice work there by Flash, bringing an observer along also so you could spot and kill off those tanks across the little ledge there, across the, whatever, I guess across the wall, although that doesn't really make sense because I don't think Dragoons could do indirect fire, you know, fire over something, but I guess they can. And looks like Flash actually has a lot of Templar out. No Arbiters. He might not decide to wait, though. He might decide just to commit right now. Looks like he's managed to catch Best completely off guard. Best was in transit with his tanks, and oh man, Best is going to get completely destroyed here. All of his tanks coming under huge amounts of storms. Jangby like Storm, and this is just truly scary. Flash with Storm. Seriously, Flash is a pretty monstrous Protoss player, I have to say. He's definitely, I'd say he'd be an average Protoss pro gamer if he really wanted to be. Not necessarily that bad at all, because he's just been playing a pretty solid game so far. And Archon's out, interesting enough, though, for Flash. Certainly his reaction time is as good, if not better, than most Protosses. And he has gone for the right strategies at the right times, and picking off those tanks in an early game certainly was commendable. Meanwhile, Best has seemed more like he's playing just a very standard Terran, I guess, a conservative Terran, and it's not working out for him because he doesn't have the Terran skills, basically, to make it work. Flash now pushing forward with more storms. Beautiful storms from Flash, I have to say. That is probably the last time you'll ever hear that. Beautiful storms from Flash, but really they have been quite impressive in all these battles, and he's wiped out all the forces of Best. I have to give this game to Flash. He's managed to stop Best from expanding, and, you know, Best wasn't expanding. He wasn't pushing out like Flash does in these games, and Flash did not decide to go for something like carriers. I mean, he decided to stick to just Templars and Gateway forces, and it's proven very successful for him. I think he can go and finish off the upper left if he desires. Best, the really only original thing I saw in this game was going for that little drop at the lower left. I think he made really good use of his units there, but unfortunately for him, that was a lot of APM, and that was pretty much all he could do. He couldn't, you know, pull some kind of attack in the front at the same time. Or maybe he just didn't want to. But when he did move out, he was caught completely unaware by Flash. His Vultures hadn't set up a minefield, he hadn't gotten his tank siege, and now it looks like this will be the last fight here. GG coming from I Love Ubi SKT1, but it's not I Love Ubi, it is best. So Flash has won. This is actually only the second time they've ever met, so Flash has 1-1 with best, I guess, if you want to call this a real victory. But certainly quite impressive Protoss play from Flash, and it's good to see a smile on the kid's face. He did lose 2 times in the day before, 2 out of 2. So, and this is, I think, the only time he's going to be played on the second day of the SKT1 KTF rivalry game. So it's good to get some revenge, I guess. And Flash continuing to smile. That's always a good sign to see Flash in a good mood. Best certainly can't feel bad though. He was playing Terran after all, and I love these giving him some consolation. I still wonder who is inside of that scary SKT1 mascot. And I don't think any of the other teams have decided to copy them in getting a big, a person in a suit, I guess, whatever you would call it, a costume person. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this interesting little game here. Yeah, this is Cholera signing off.